This conference will now be recorded.
So we saw yesterday we saw how to run a Python program or how to run a Python statements using Python shell, and that can become from this Python prompt and using the program file. That means we need to write a program, and then after writing program name, then we need to write like this to compile or to translate the Python program, right? So after that, we saw the concept of a single quotation, then double quotation, and then triple quotation, right? So there are a few things also remaining there last time. So I just want to share with you these guys also. So there are many things here we have. Suppose if we want to store the data, so we can store in this format. But if we have data, suppose at the address, consider the address. Address can be anything. So I'll take the address of this location. It can be anywhere. So I just want to store this address, right? So mm, I can take any address. So this is my address, consider. So I'll store this address with this name, okay? /n/test, some name, address. So when I try to execute this line, and if I try to display this value, it will give me correct output. But what happens sometime, it will create a problem. Suppose if we have s3 equal to suppose some address and test test and s3. So you see here this /n is basically comes from the format specifier format. So if we try to display the value of s3, so it will give you this output, right? So to control this type of output, we use reserve keyword. Reserve keyword, that means how we will use here, instead of writing this directly value, we will use here s4 equal to r for reserve string. So this is r for reserving the string, and that reserving string will display you exact output what we have. See here we are getting the same value. Because sometime in some another compilers they will not translate this line for backward slash, so it will skip this line. So when this line is comes, it will try to find out the next character of this string, and if it is /n, it will not give you exactly what you're expecting. So if you try here s4, so you will get simple output. Whereas here in this case, it will try to execute this /n, and it will understand this is your for escape sequence, right? This is your escape sequence. So that's why we need to use this r. What is the benefit of r? With the help of r, whatever the value you return in a string, whatever you return here, it will keep it as it is. It will not disturb you. So in another systems, suppose if it is Linux or any other system, so we need to manage these things through some reserve keyword. So we use this r, okay? And this especially used in when we specify the path. So sometime, suppose here if you see here, I never return x, but here I'm getting 0x, right? So this problem comes because of I never use r here. If I try to use r here, instead of this writing this whole thing, if I return here r, so it will keep me as it is. It will keep my data as it is. So if I try here, I'll get my output as it is. It will not change anything inside there. This is the benefit of r for reserve, okay? So this is one thing I need to share with you, because I last time I saw this thing. And now another thing is what we have concept called string. So suppose I return some programs here, we can use any message. With the help of print, what we can do, we can write some message. You can write here welcome to Python, any message, or you can use here format specifier. This is called format specifier. What in by this format specifier? The benefit of this format specifier of format specifier is it will display you as a string format, where here it will display you string format. So if I try to execute the program, if I try to execute this program here with this location, prompt colon and then Python, and then now file name string operation .py. So I'll get my output what I'm expecting. So here if you see here I'm getting snow. Why? Because this snow is basically a value here. So it will display me instead of %s, it will display me this snow value. So what is the benefit of percent symbol here? It will join your string, plus it will check where is the format specifier. Here in this case we have for %s symbol, and it will try to replace with this right hand side value. So it can be a static value, this is called constant, or you can say a literal, and that will pass it to instead of %s. This one thing I need to tell you. And even you can use here a multiplication symbol, last time we saw already. So if I try with dot star 10, so what I will get the output, can anyone tell me? So here see, here output star dot 10 times. Why? Because this multiplies will help us to multiply 10 times this value. So whatever we written here, it will execute 10 times. This is the purpose of symbol arithmetic operations here. Now another case, here we have one string and 1 and 2, like this we have that much of data, and I try to concatenate with this plus symbol. Now what is the purpose of plus symbol and comma symbol? So remember, this percent symbol is used when we have to display the value in a form of percent symbol, means format specifier, using format specifier if you want to display. So if you have any right hand side value and you want to place somewhere else, suppose is I'll write here this mesh method string is and some value which is correct, some message. So it will display me snow in this location. Remember, this is the purpose of percent symbol, whereas the symbol of plus is what? The symbol of plus will make it as a in one location, so this will make as a one string. And then what is the purpose of this comma symbol? It will make it as an element, it will make it an element. So if you see here, the output is basically cheese and burger. Why cheese and burger? Because after and 6, after and 6, that means this much of data I concatenate with one value, and after that I use comma operator. What is the benefit of comma operator? It will make it as a one element, it will separate one element. So here is one my element, and another thing, this is my another element. Okay, so these things I need to share with you because it is very important, we require some time, so that's why we need to know about this. So if you have any question in this, you can ask me.
Yes, Mujahid, Ashok here. So in the print method, you replace the string using %s, right?
Right,
So
right.
when you kept percentages and when you forwarded string value, then it picked up that string value and printed. So similarly, if we need to pass any numbers or any single letter character, so is there any other variables like percentage and such characters are there, or we have only for string to display here for using percentages?
All things whatever you have in your another language like Java or C++, same thing we have here, but the main thing is what we usually use for a %s, because this will use reporting. In your case it will use in reporting. So when you want to display the CPU usage and disk usage, so that time you try to get the value from somewhere and trying to display for management purpose, so you use usually %s. We have different symbols here. I'm not worrying about that symbol because it can increase or decrease, but we usually use %s. So if you need that symbols, I will give you a list of that symbols, so which will help you to go in detail about that. But
Okay.
remember,
Mhm.
that symbol will come on with start with percent symbol only.
That's fine. So now again for percentages, instead of characters, right? Can I give the numbers also 10, 20 like that?
Right. No, percent instead of percent, there are some things, they have some rules, and that shows your format specifier. So I'll show you what do you mean by these things. Suppose this is command line. Remember, this is your command line, so it won't execute in my program. Okay. Now if I write like here, suppose %s, so that means simple string, it will display this string. Okay. Now instead of that, if I return here %d, suppose, so it will give me decimal value. And here we have %2.d 2.3 f, suppose. So what do you mean by this thing? It will display me 2 digit from this side, and then 3 digit from another side.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So it
Okay.
will display me like this format. So there are few things inside. We should know little bit about %s symbol only. So that's why I just trying to share you about %s symbol. Later we will go in detail about that. But I just want to share with you about the what is the use of this %, what is the use of this plus, and what is the use of comma, because this will ask in interview what is the difference between all symbols.
Okay.
Now, another thing is what I just want to update here. We have a variable concept as well. So see here, we store some data, endl, any name. You can write n2 and 3, some name we return. But here we can use any variable a equal to 10, like that also is possible. And no need to declare that variable, it will automatically declare. And when you store the value, it will understand what is the type of this variable. Remember. So if I try here, suppose instead of that, here I'll try a equal to 10. Okay. So I know the type of this a is integer. So I'll just check with the help of this predefined method using type. What is the benefit of type? It will return me or type of particular thing. So here I can specify my variable. So here I'm specifying my variable, or you can specify any constant value. So let me check with this number. So it will display me int. What in by int? This is integer. That means a is an integer. Now let's try with another value, b equal to some message, welcome. And then again I'll try check with this method b. So it will give me str. What in by str? String. So with the help of the value what we store, based on that only it will declare. So in another languages like C++, we need to declare like this method, int a semicolon, then another line we need to write a equal to 10, then semicolon, like this we need to write. So instead of writing this much of code, we will write only this line. So Python is very smart. It will understand the what actually you store, and based on that storage, it will automatically declare, implicitly declare your data type.
But if we can overwrite, right? Like assume that if I have a 10,
Yes,
I can say as a string as a 10, right?
yes, it's possible. Yes, correct. So if I here I check, can you tell me what is the type here now?
String.
Right, correct. So it can override. See here it is overriding same variable with different values. In other languages it is not possible basically.
No,
You should not.
but if a is equal to 10, I can overwrite as a string.
Yeah, you can override with anything, not only string, anything you can override. Here I'm storing with some value 2.3,
Yeah.
2.4. So it is possible with anything. See here, float, string, and integer. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so let me go with detail about this. So what we are talking about, we are talking about a type. Type is a method which help us to give you the type. So suppose I don't have a variable, so I can write here also as well. So it will tell me what is the type of welcome is constant value. So it will show me str. Instead of that, I can write, oh sorry, type and then 11 and close. So it is integer. So you can write a variable in place of this type argument. This is called argument. Remember, this is what, this is predefined method or function. You can say function, method, procedure, subroutine, anything you can tell. And what is the purpose of this thing is basically used to find out the type from where it will get the data. It will get the data from these brackets. So with this bracket, whatever you written in this bracket is called argument. So this argument can be a variable. You can see here it is a variable, or it can be a constant value. It can be any constant value, either a string or integer or anything. So that constant value also you can check it with the help of this type. So what is the benefit of this type? You can check this benefit of this type is using dir or help. I don't know what is type, so I'll write help. So this is very, very, very important. Remember, how many times I say very, very, because it is very important in future also. Because if people they are from Java background, they should know how to read Java from Java. People they are from Linux background, they should know how to learn Linux from Linux. So same thing, if you want to go in detail about Python, so you should know what is help. Help is one type of predefined method, or you can say function, which help us to find out what is the purpose of whatever you written here. So I written what is type. So I am not getting the understanding what is the meaning of type int. While writing this value, if I got the data, remember people they are coming from DevOps, automation or administration or any system engineer or data warehouse. These people they should know only the how to run the code and how to read the code. So if they don't understand the code and they don't have access of internet, so they can go with this method help. What in by help? Help will give you the detail about that type. And another method is what? This complete detail. I'll explain you each and everything about this detail later. But another method is dir, type and help and dir. So it will give you complete detail about that method. See here, it will give me complete data. So one by one, we will understand what is the meaning of inside what we written here and why we written these things. So two things we need to know, what is a dir and another is help. This two is very important for us, which will help us to learn Python from Python. Learn Python from Python. Remember, and another thing is what I just want to tell you, if we can store like this value, I want to store some multiple values 10, 20 and c equal to 30 suppose. So same thing you can do with any language or any scripting thing, but the main benefit with Python is what? A comma b comma c is equal to, or you can write x comma y comma z equal to 10 comma 20 comma 30. Directly you can specify. This is also possible in Python. See, it will give you correct value all. So the purpose of this is called packing and unpacking. This will come on interview, and sometime you see in code which is already written, some developer or administrator they already written a script. We need to read that script and we need to understand. So what in by this thing? This is called packing and unpacking concept. So here I'm trying to store three values in three variables. So these three values I have, and I am storing these three values into my three variables. So you remember the rule is what? How many arguments you are passing here, that many argument is available here. You cannot specify three here and two here. It is not possible. Whatever, how many arguments you are passing? Three. So you should pass three, and it can be any value. It can be p comma q comma r. It can be anything. Suppose welcome comma 10 comma 2.3, like this also possible. P q r. So you will get all different data. So what is the rule? Both sides should be equal. This side and this side should be equal. and it can be any type. It's not necessary you should specify only integer or string. You can specify any type. So what we understand, there are a few things we understand. Type will help us to find out the data type. So if I want to find out the data type of P, so I'll write P and enter. If I want to find out the data type of R, so it will give me output out based on argument we pass. So this is called an argument, and this is predefined method. So remember, we need to know only those method which is already available. For those, they are coming from the automation and data warehouse administration side, operation side, I can say. Those the people, they are coming from operation side, or they want to learn scripting only, so they need to know the data types and understanding of Python. People, they are coming from background development, so they need to know the what is the data type, and they need to write a code for that. So in operation side, we already have a code already written in market. You can check in internet also. I'll show you later after completing this course. I will show you where you will get data and where you will write a code. For people, those, there are three types of people, remember. Hard worker, just worker, just working, and smart worker. So these people, they take data from internet, but they know how to, where to copy and where to paste. This is very important for them, otherwise they cannot become smart. So I will show you this method where you need to copy and where you need to paste. Only when you will get this idea, when you understand the language. Like newspaper, if you are reading, same thing, if you can read a Python code, that means you are able to paste the code. Where to paste, you know, and where to copy, you should know the experience about that. So in future, when we finish our course, I'll show you how to get the data or code from a local internet. Okay, so let me complete another topics also. So we have this, what we understand, same thing, but another one benefit we have, like x comma y comma equal to z is possible. Like welcome, I want to store in all variable this value. So it is possible to store all variable same value with the help of equal to operator. This is also possible in Python. Whereas another side, it is not possible. In case of any other language, it is not possible. So in Python, whatever the new advantage features we have, I'm trying to share with you. So this is possible. So all variable contains same value. Okay. Now let me check with another things, like we have one variable. Suppose I can write 0b. What in by 0b? That means you are writing the a variable value as binary number. There are four types of number system. In number system, we have four types. One is binary, hexadecimal, octal, and decimal. So decimal means normal number. So normal number, no need to write anything, just write a number. But in case of binary, you need to start with prefix with 0b. 0b means binary, and then you only specify your data. So if I write here 1010, that means some value. Like here I'll get 10. So instead of writing 10, I'll write here 111. So what in by this thing? It will display me 7. Why? Because 111 is in binary. It is in binary. And when you convert this 111 in binary to decimal, it will give you output as 7. So by default, the output will display in a decimal format. Okay. And another thing, if you want to represent the value in a binary format, you need to use this 0b symbol. Now another thing is what we have another symbol as well, like b. If we can store b 0 o, octal o, and then you can write any value here. So you can display this value in a form of decimal. So you can get the value as per your requirement. Now same thing with decimal, hexadecimal as well. 0x is used to display hexadecimal value. So if I write here f, that means 0x 1f. so it will display me the value 31. If you convert this value, now how you can convert, I'll show you. If you want to convert, you need to use calculator, Calci, and here you need to write programming, and you write any value here, decimal, and if you write 31, you will get hexadecimal value 31 1f. And what is the binary? This is the binary, this is the octal. So if I return here d is equal to 0 O and then 37, so what I will get? D also same value 31. This is the main thing we need to know. So you can change with this option here, menu option. You can change the programmer view, and then you will convert anything with any variable. So here if 111 if I return, so it is the meaning of 111 is here, this value. Only zeros and one is enabled in binary. Okay, so this is a number system in Python as well possible, because sometimes we require to get the data in a form of hexadecimal or decimal value or some values. If people they are coming from security background, they require this binary code they require, because they want to communicate with address, memory, location. So that is also possible. And another thing is what we can use exponential symbols as well. Suppose if I have suppose float 1 is equal to 10.5, so float 2 can be 1.5 e2. So value of this is basically, this is the value, and you can specify any value. So exponential is also possible in Python. So this is your complete one value, and this is basically exponential. So it will convert this value into 150.0. This is also possible in Python. Now another type of data is basically we have called Boolean data. Boolean data is a data in which we can store either true or false. Consider if I'll write here some value, x is equal to some value. Here I'll write 1 equal to true. So what is this true? True is 1, nothing but 1. So we'll check this value. X, what is the value of x? X is true. So you can store x or y equal to true directly. So I can check condition here. What in by this thing? This is called expression. In this expression, we are trying to check the condition first. So first, this brackets is open close bracket we have, so it will go with this execution first. So what in by this thing? 1 is equal to, that means whether it will give you true or false, because it is checking. This is called relational operator. This is called relational operator. And here equal to means it is checking the value. So here we are checking the value a equal to true. That means if this condition is true, it will store data in x. So let me explore more detail about this. 1 equal to true, that means it is trying to check the value whether 1 is equal to true or not. If it is true, then it will return true, otherwise it will return false. So here it is true. Now I'll check here with 0, so it will give me false. If I check 0 with false, it will give me true, because both are equal. So here what is equal to operator, which will return either true or false, and it will find out the left hand side value and right hand side value is same or not. So remember, this left hand side and right hand side is called operand. What we say, operand. And another thing is what the symbol what we have here, like this or this, or it can be a plus symbol, minus, multiply, division symbol. It's called operator. So there are two things. will become an expression. So what is expression? Is like an equation. Equation is a collection of operand and operator. Example, we have example called a c equal to a plus b. Here, what are the operands? Can you tell me? C, a, b, c are the operands. And what is operator? Plus, equal to plus are the operators. These are the operators. Okay. Any question, guys? Or
No.
if it is very basic, so I'll go in detail about that advanced little bit. Should I go in advanced mode, or it's okay for you?
Yeah, you can go advance.
Okay. So there are a few things we have, especially for those if you want to check the data type called null. So here you can store database object equal to any name you can write here, not necessarily db object or you return. You can write specify none. What in by none? None means if this object is nothing, then it will give you an error. So you can check with this value db object is none. If it is true, it will give you true, because we return is a none, so it will check. So what in by this thing? This is your variable. It can be x, y, z or abc, and is a keyword which will help us to find out whether both left hand side and right hand side is true or false. And equal none is basically a value. So like here, if I store a equal to 10, I can write a is 10. If it is true, then it will give me true. And now I'll write here int a is 20, it will give me false. So is keyword is help you to check the same thing. The same thing we have here, equal to and is symbol. So both are same, but we usually use this is symbol to use the object. Here we see we have object db object. So if you want to find out the database connectivity is already there or not, or is there any issue, so it will return either none or it will return the object value. In this case we have value as none, so it will return as a true. Any question, guys?
No, Mujahid.
No, correct.
Okay, so let me complete with another stuff like Python string concept again. Little bit about string. String is very important in Python. So remember whatever we store here welcome. So this welcome we can get the data using this indexing method. There are two things, indexing and slicing. So this array of 0, that means it will return me first character. Same thing, if you want to return a last character, you need to write -1. -1 return last character. Okay, so if you write here 4, 5, so it will give you M. And even if you can write S1 of 6, it will return same thing E. And if you write here 7, it will give you an error, index error. So if you find out this type of error, index out of range, that means the range what you specify here, it is not available in this string. So we should know what is the error come when we try to access the string. So this is called indexing. Indexing will start with 0 and end with -1. -1, you can access this value. Same thing if you want to get the value of second last value. So how you can get the second last value? S1 of -2. You can go further. M S1 -3. You can go in detail about that. Welcome all things. Okay. Like this, you can specify any value 5, so you'll get welcome WL. Okay, so this is the one thing. This is called indexing. Now in indexing we have minus feature as well in Python. In another language we have only 0 to n number minus 1, n minus 1, but here we have both feature n minus 1 and 0, as well as this value called minus value. So we can go in reverse order of particular string. Now we'll check with slicing option. Slicing, what in the slicing? We can cut the string. Suppose I have a string welcome to Python. Now if I try to display, I'll get the value, but what I want, I just want to get the value of TO, this one, this value is only. So I can slice with the help of split method, using split, and here I need to specify space. With the help of space, it will return me the data and it will give me 1, so it will give me 2, TO2, TO2. So if I want to get the value of Python, so what I need to write here, tell me, can anybody help me? If I want to get the value of Python from this string, what I need to do?
2. S1 split 2.
Yes, correct. So instead of writing here, we need to write 2, so we'll get 2, and here 0, that
0.
means welcome.
Welcome.
Now again, if I write here 2, what in by this thing? It will return L. So it will fetch the welcome here, selected part, and when I write 2, that means 0, 1 and 2, so it will return me L. So with the help of this method, you can slice the data, so you can split the data. Now we can go with particular range. I just want to get the data from COME, only come I need. From this string I need only COME, that's it, not more not less. So can you help me, guys? There is one symbol called colon 1 colon 3. Now first we understand this symbol. 1 is basically from where you want to start. Here 1 will start from welcome, and 3 means third value we will get the data. Suppose I'll show in beginning. I'll take another value from this variable, only welcome I will take. Now I'll write here s1 equal to s1 of 0 colon 3. If I write like this, I'll get WEL. Now I want to find out how to get the come. This I need. Can you help me, guys, using slicing method? What I need to write here? From where I need to start?
4 and 7.
S1. Yeah. 3 to 7? Or 4?
4 and
7.
okay. Let me check with this. So
4
I'll
and
get only
3 to
3.
7.
Why 3 and why not 4?
Because 3 is where C is.
It start with 0, right? So when I go with 3, I'll get my value. But what I need, I want only CO. So how I need to get the data? What I need to change, instead of come, I need only CO.
5, 3, 5.
3, 5. Let me check. Yes, correct. So this is the main thing we need to know, because this will create a more problem in company. Means when we have code, we not able to understand. So we should know how we can slice the data. So this is concept is called slicing. This is splitting, and this is indexing. Before what we take indexing. What in by indexing? Like this, we need to write value. So particular data, only particular character we will get the data. Okay. Any question? Any doubt?
Can you help me in understanding that slicing once more? Mosaic?
Yeah, sure.
The 0, 3, 4, 7, how it has come. Yeah.
3, so colon 7, right? So we'll take Python is great, suppose. Now this symbol, what I need, I need to find out is, or I need to catch this is. I need to cut this is. So what I'll do,
Okay.
I'll start with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need to write 6. Okay.
Yes.
So I'll here 6 S2 of 6. So if
Okay.
I'll try to display 6, I'll get is I. Now I need to go with colon. What I need to write, can you guys tell me?
8.
Why 8? Let me check with this 8. Yes, is 8. So it will count from beginning. It will count. So how I understand what value I require after writing this 6 colon 8. So you can check with this method what I given you, dir, and then brackets or colon you can specify, or help using split method. Anything you can check here. Help split
Slice.
is not split, or you can write sphere. Okay. We cannot go directly with this because we need to specify a string. So I need to specify a string, then only I will get the data. Yes. Then only is possible. How? I return this symbol, then only it is possible. So here I use here dir, then enter. So with the help of split, I'll get the data. See here I'm getting data. Now I can write here help to get detail about this method. So split is a built-in function. Split is what? Built-in function. What we try to understand now. A split is basically a built-in function. In this case, this bracket is saying this is optional part. Remember, and this symbol says what is the return value of a split. So list of string we will get. So suppose if I try to store these values in one variable, consider if I try to store this value in one variable s1 equal to some value, I'll write here some value. Now I'll write s1 dot split. So what I need to remember, separator I need to specify. If you not specify, it will understand empty symbol. So if I'll write here separator is space and then bracket close, so it will give me all data in list of elements. So this says it is one value. Now you can fetch particular value also, like 0. So what I will get? Return. If I write here 2, what I'll get? List.
List.
So same thing we can go with this. Now another thing is what we can use another symbol also in a string. Like here I'm writing welcome, comma, Python, comma, test, comma, great, comma, by something value. Okay. Now I can split my value with the help of comma operator. So I'll write here comma and double quotation close, bracket close. So it will give me all values different. So now you can get particular value using indexing method. Okay.
Yes.
So this is the main thing we need to understand. Now a little bit about the conversion we should know, because conversion also require an interview. So there are few methods already available in market called data type methods, conversion method. So like example casting, you can say typecasting. The concept is called typecasting. In typecasting, we convert one type to another type. That is called typecasting. Like example, I have one value a equal to double quotation 25 or 35. So when I write this value, what is the type of this value? A is basically a string, but I want to store this a as an integer, so I can use int a. What in by this thing? It will try to convert this value into integer. So this is already integer, but it is in double quotation, so that's why it's giving me a type as a string. But when I write like this, it will try to convert it, and whatever the converted result, it will come here. Now we will check the value. What is the value of b? B type of B is basically integer. Why? Because we try to convert a string into integer. Same thing for same thing we can do, like C is equal to strb. So what is the type of C? String. Okay, so now another D is equal to, we can go with a float as well. So I'll write here B float, or you can say A, anything, anytime. So what in by this thing? And that means we are trying to convert a string into float, and that value will store in this variable, D variable. So when I try to display the type of D, it will give me float. So when I display this value, it will automatically add point and 0, because we don't have any value after this symbol. Okay, so that's why. So this is the main thing. This is called type conversion. We require many times, we should know. And one another benefit with this type conversion is what we have a concept called, sometime in interview they ask what is the meaning of polymorphism. There is one feature, polymorphism. Just understand little bit, I'll go in detail later. But what in by this polymorphism, it will return you a multiple value with one function. So here I'm using int, and here I'm writing my string value, and I'll get my data as a string integer. From string to integer I use int. Now this string is basically having decimal number, and I'm getting here decimal number, right? But when I write like this, so what I will get, sorry, base is with base 2. Okay, 10, yes, 35. 2 is basically for binary number, base binaries. Like example, if I had 111, what in by 111? 111 can be a number called 7. So how I can check with this? int and then b comma 2. What in by this thing? Try to convert this string, which is basically, it can be a string or number or anything. Try to convert this b into 2. What in by 2? 2 is basically a binary number. So if I try to convert it, so it will give me data directly output like this. Okay, any question, any doubt? Same thing, if we want to display suppose hexadecimal, instead of writing this value in hexadecimal, we'll take some another value 1010. If I write here 1010, and if I try to display int b comma 2, what in by this thing? It will give me 10, right? Now I want to display in hexadecimal, so I'll write hex. Hex is predefined method, and this will convert your data. This is called chaining system. That this function is depend on this function, and when this function is executed, it will return the value, and that return value will come instead of the selected part, and that value will return it to the output screen. Now if we check this value, we'll get 0xa. A means 10 in hexadecimal. So same thing we have for another concept called ASCII code. Some ASCII code also is possible here, which is based on method called CHR. Suppose A is equal, remember in capital A is equal to 65 in ASCII code, and small a is equal to 97. This is the ASCII code. And with the help of these values, we can convert any data with number, any string into number. So I'll show you practically one example. Suppose I'm writing any ASCII code, I'll write ASCII code as a 65. I don't know what is the value of ASCII code of 65. So I'll use ASCII character CHR, any value you can write, variable, and then you write CHR. In CHR you need to specify your variable. So when I write here ACHR, so I'll get A. Now if instead of this, if I write here 99 suppose, and same thing if I try to execute again, What is the output of this ACHR? Can you tell me, guys?
E.
97 is basically A.
A.
99 is 98 is B. What is 99? C. Yes, correct. You're getting my point?
Yes.
So same thing, if we have already, suppose this is my variable. Now I want to find out from where this data is coming. So I'll write ordinal. With the help of ordinal, I'll get the code of that character. So I'll get 99. So we have these things. One is CHR, another is ORD, ordinal, CHR. These two things we have, right? And we have hex, int. These are the predefined functions we use to convert from one type to another. This is using conversion type. We require sometimes this type of data. We required. Now, any question, guys, till here?
So you are writing all these functions like as a split or indexing or even this int or ordinal in the PyShell itself. So when I write same in one of the text pad by saving .py, and if I execute like Python space test.py, so all those functions will execute as it is. So split function or int function under.
Yes, but a little bit we need to remember, whenever you write this type of data, say remember, when we write this thing, it will not work. Remember this ACHR, because here you're trying to display this value. Instead of, if you're writing same thing in program file, what you need to write, you need to write like this, ACHR, then only it will work. Here in terminal, it will try to directly execute it, and in program we need to give instruction, execute this line, execute this thing. So here in this case also we need to display in any print or somewhere another method or variable, ord achr. So then only I'll get the data. So same thing, if I want to convert this into file, I'll show you how we can convert it. I'll take basic new file, or the same file we can take, no problem. Here we can store this value easily, no issue for that. Okay. Here this is possible, but this is not possible in file this. Why? Because ACHR is a variable, and that variable value we need to display through some method. So we'll use here print. This, with the help of this print, we'll get the value inside ACHR. Same thing, this is possible, and now this is possible with the help of print method. That's it. And here this is also not possible. Why? Because the data we need to store or we need to display it in file based system. So you can write like this, or you can use any symbol like x, and x is equal to some value we need to store. That's it. So now this will work with your file system. Did you get this point, what I'm trying to explain you?
Yes, Mujahid, I'm good here.
Okay, so remember, in interactive mode, that means this Python mode, where is this Python? In this Python mode, we need to specify only variable name. Like here, I specify a, then it will give me output. Where in case of my file, I need to specify a, print a, then only I'll get the data. So this is the difference between interactive mode and the file-based mode. So interactive mode will give you directly output. Okay, guys. So what we understand today, just revise it. We understand concept called type, data types in Python. and we understand the concept called the operators and expression, basically expression I can say, and we understand concept called predefined methods, predefined method, or you can say function or method, anything. In another language, procedure also we say, even subroutine. Because I have good experience, more than 17 languages I know, so that's why I'm writing this much of naming convention. So that's why same, all are same, remember. So predefined method we saw, and we see how to learn Python from Python. That means using dir and help. I'll go in detail about later about this thing, more in detail, because still not cover completely clearly. So I'll go in detail about that. But we saw a little bit of introduction, and also we see the concept called type method and number system, how we can represent number system like binary and hexadecimal, and all number system, 4 number system, binary, decimal, and octal and hexadecimal. And also we see ordinal and char. What in by ordinal and char? Basically char will convert into number into code into character. So here remember, we need to write a code. This is basically an ASCII code. You need to specify here ASCII code, and here you will get the ASCII number, like here you will get character. So example is basically, if you write x equal to chr and bracket 65. So what is the value of x? If you try to print the value of x, what you will get? You will get capital A. So this is the purpose of chr. Same thing for ordinal, it is vice versa. Same thing. Ordinal will return from character to ASCII code. This is the thing we need to remember. From tomorrow we will go with operators and other statements and stuff. Okay, any question, any doubt, you can ask me. From tomorrow onwards we'll go about the means not tomorrow, today is Friday, right?
Yes, sir.
So I'll ping you in group if I'll get the time. I'll ping you. Otherwise, from Monday onwards we will continue it. Okay. So whatever I covered, try to revise it and practice it. If you didn't get anything, you can ping me through group. So we will. I'll give you response based on that. Okay. If you have any doubt in this, so you have 2 days to revise this all stuff, because we are going with a little bit advanced later from Monday onwards. So you can ask me question if you have in this weekend. Ping me in group or personally as per your requirement. So I'll give you response. Okay.
We don't have class tomorrow.
No, we don't have class tomorrow.
Okay.
Maybe day after tomorrow, if possible, I'll ping before one day. Means Saturday,
Okay.
I'll ping if possible. Otherwise,
Okay.
not compulsory. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, sure. No problem. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.